Hey guys, welcome to this For Whoever reading. Let's jump in and see what messages want to come through. Messages for whoever needs to receive this, please. I hope you all are doing well. Okay, we have cold, control, silent, observing, hiding feelings, secretive, blocking, emotions, or a mask. So there might be you or someone in your vicinity that is just acting a little bit cold and distant right now. Let's look further into this situation to get more clarity. Messages for whoever needs to receive this. Okay, I have mischief coming out. Okay, so this might be indicative of someone kind of in the background. Maybe you're aware of it, maybe you're not aware of it, where things aren't exactly as they seem. This person may be doing things kind of in the background that may not be so wise to be doing. Let's dive further into this so we can get clarity for you in this situation. This may be someone who's attempting to do things in the background, but in order to control the situation, they might be telling you that they're doing otherwise. And this may be stirring a lot of confusing emotions in you. Sometimes when we know with our intuition that something is not exactly as it seems, or someone is not as they seem or are saying that they are, they might be saying one thing and doing another. Our intuition will usually kind of pick up on that. And we start to have these feelings that something's really off or something might be wrong. And so this might be evoking some feelings in you where maybe you're not trusting your intuition in this situation, or maybe you've had confirmation of exactly what's coming out here in this message. Let's continue on. Messages for whoever needs this. I have energy and motivation. So this might be just wreaking a little bit havoc on you, okay? So this might be where it's causing you to have a little bit of a low vibrational energy and you're struggling to find motivation to either leave this particular situation, look further into it, or maybe do something about it. So let's take a look here and see what else comes out for you. Maybe this will help. I have dark path and learning from your mistakes. Okay. So this might even be, this could even be your energy. Maybe you were the one who may not have been as truthful as you should have been to someone. And now you're learning from your past mistakes. Maybe you really saw how that affected someone that you really cared about. And maybe you didn't mean any harm at the time, but then you saw, how it really made them feel when the truth came out. This can also be that you were in a situation and, you discovered some truths about someone that was really up to no good and maybe not acting in their best behavior for you. And so this is saying, hey, you know what? I've already been here before. I know the red flags and I'm going to learn from my past mistakes and I'm going to go ahead and do something about it this time instead of maybe staying in it longer than you should have. Maybe you've done this before in a relationship where you started to see red flags and your intuition started telling you things weren't exactly as they seemed. And you might have ignored those red flags before and stayed a lot longer than you should have. And maybe the situation wasn't as as it should have been. Maybe it should have been ended a lot sooner. And so because it drew out a little bit longer, that may have made things a lot more worse than they had to be. And so this may even be a current situation where this is what's playing out and you need to recognize the red flags so that you can remove yourself from this situation. Or this may be saying that you're learning from the past and you're now acknowledging those red flags that you're noticing and you're ready to do something about it. Let's get some tarot and this will give me some more details on exactly what's taking place here so that I can get you advice and clarity on the situation, on what's happening in case you're not seeing something. Let's take a look at the overall energy of the situation. Overall energy, please. Overall energy of this situation. I have the Three of Wands. So you might be just kind of taking a position where you're looking for, things to play out and kind of just waiting to see how things are going to go. Maybe this is a situation that you became aware of. You've acknowledged the red flags. Maybe you confronted this person. Maybe you guys had a conversation about it, or maybe you haven't had one at all. Either way, this is saying that you're in an energy where you're just kind of doing a wait and see here. Okay, let's look at the recent past. The Page of Swords. So there might have been some if I can get my words out correctly, there might have been some messages that you received or saw that were, kind of calling the situation out. There may have been some truths that you discovered. Maybe they were online messages. Maybe they were messages on a phone. They were texts. They were, in an app. Regardless, it looks like you were doing a little bit of digging and some truths came out here, okay? Either that or you received some messages that were calling this situation out and it became aware to you, okay? Let's bring out the present energy, the magician. So this is an energy of a little bit of control. Okay, so there might have been a situation that was playing out that wasn't exactly in your favor, and maybe this was, you trying to say, you know what, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to do a little bit of a wait and see because I kind of want to see how this plays out. You might even be indulging in a little bit of an energy yourself that is saying, hey, you know what? Before I go into something new, I'm just going to take a wait and see approach. I'm not going to say anything before I can kind of get into a whole new situation myself so that I can get better footing and remove myself from this situation. Okay. This may also be, if this is you playing out in this energy, this could also be that you might be using some tactics that maybe aren't for the good of anyone involved, but maybe just conducive to your own well-being, that you're trying to kind of, coerce a situation to play out the way you want it to play out. Put the energies as you will, okay, where they belong. Let's go ahead and get some near future energy. What's the near future, please? Near future. I have temperance here. And this is saying that, things need to kind of calm down a little bit, okay? Whatever the situation is, it usually can evoke a lot of emotions, a lot of thoughts. And so this is asking you here in the near future to kind of regulate a little bit. I know that the situation isn't exactly that way that you would wanted it to play out, but this is saying here that you just kind of need to take a step back and allow those emotions to calm down so that you can have a better idea of what to do. Maybe you've already moved past this situation with this Three of Wands here, that you're now have turned your back on the situation. You're looking for something new to create in your life and you're headed in that direction. But maybe you're just, it's not really easy to do that, to uproot yourself from something that you've been in for a while and needing to go in a whole nother direction. So, especially with your emotions kind of being a little bit turbulent, this might be where you just kind of need to calm down a little bit. But maybe once you take those steps forward and out of the situation, you'll begin to be more calmer once it's behind you more. Let's get some advice, please. Advice, please. All right, I have the Seven of Wands. And so this is an energy of having really strong personal boundaries, really staying in your energy, really focusing on what's best for you, despite whatever may be happening. Maybe this person is still attempting to reach out and contact you, or whatever's playing out here. Maybe there's words being exchanged, with the ending of this. But what this is trying to say is, regardless, you need to have, really strong personal boundaries, either with this particular person or now because you're learning from the past and your mistakes that maybe you made in not recognizing these red flags. It's saying, hey, make sure that you establish some really healthy and strong, firm boundaries so that this doesn't happen in the future. Whatever new you're creating and moving toward here, you don't want it to be tainted with, old situations and old stuff. You don't want to, hit repeat. So this is asking you to go ahead and establish some firm boundaries so that the future can, play out differently. Let's take a look at what's hidden, what you don't see, so that in case there's something that maybe you're just not seeing in this situation that would prove helpful to you. I have the Two of Swords. So this is an energy of maybe, you're not trusting your intuition. Maybe you're second guessing some of your decisions. Maybe you're second guessing what information came to light and you're trying to maybe make excuses for someone's behavior. Maybe you're kind of like, well, I saw some texts and they said they were just a friend, but, maybe they really are just a friend and maybe I misread those. Maybe I'm not making the right decision here. Should I stay or should I go? Or if you've already left that particular situation, you might be questioning if the decision you made was the right one. So tap into that intuition of yours. Let those emotions settle so that your intuition can be clear and can guide you and can clarify what right decision was. Because at the end of the day, you're going to realize that you already knew all along what the right decision was or is, and you're going to, just kind of have clarification on that. Let's take a look at what you don't see coming in the next week or two. What they don't see coming in the next week or two, please. All right, we have the Two of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so what you don't see coming here is that you're going to be able to really reassess and reevaluate situations from the past. This can be this current situation or situations that you've had in the long past or all of the above. And what this is going to do here in the near future, in the next week or two, is you're really going to be able to get clear on those situations. What did you invest in that was worth it? What situations worked out well? What didn't? What was, proved helpful in those situations? What wasn't? What were the red flags that you saw that maybe you ignored that now you cannot ignore in future relationships and situations, okay? So this is going to give you some new clarity that you can take forward in actionable steps so that you can know what to do from here and not repeat this cycle from the past that clearly, wasn't conducive to your, well-being. I hope you found this reading helpful. Until I see you again, take care.